this video we'll be taking a look at the Republic Gunship, and this particular one you're looking at here is from the Clone Wars line, the very first round of it back in 2008. I think it was a Walmart exclusive, yeah, if I recall correctly. So the Republic Gunship and I have a very interesting story, and it goes back even further than this particular one. So I originally owned the very first gunship that came out back in 2002, and that's a great one as well. Unfortunately though, I gave it away a couple years later, maybe around 2005 or so, and then within the next year or two after that, I was like, man, I wish I did not do that. So then, for the next couple years, I was on a hunt for a Republic gunship. So then when I saw this one, I instantly knew I had to have this one for my collection. I don't recall seeing the Revenge of the Sith one or the Tiger Shark gunship in stores so much at the time. Otherwise, I probably would have jumped on one of those. And to this day, I'm still on the hunt for those. And while I can find many listings for them on sites like eBay, unfortunately, the price isn't. It's just not there for me right now, or it's not a price I'm willing to pay. The Tiger Shark gunship, brand new, oftentimes goes for like $500 or $600, which is way too much for this. This one you're looking at here can get pretty expensive too. In fact, all the gunships can get pretty expensive, except for the very first one that I used to own. That one you can oftentimes find brand new for about $200. So then, the story of acquiring this one, I got this on Christmas Day of 2008, the same time as the ATTE, and then I opened the package, and it had either 2 left wings or 2 right wings, I forget which. And I was like, oh man, can you believe that? A defect? And then, since this wasn't a Walmart exclusive at the time, and you know, it wasn't like, the exclusive then were not like how they are now, where even though they say it's exclusive, it ends up being everywhere in the end. So I go to my local Walmart. They don't have any of this gunship at all. So the best I did at the time was I turned it back in, and I went ahead and put the balance on a gift card. So I figured, well, I'll shop around at some other Walmarts for a while, and if I am lucky enough to find it, I should be able to basically pay nothing for it. So, about a week goes by, and I happen to go to another Walmart that's not too far away from me, maybe about an hour's drive. And initially I'm looking around and I don't see it there either. So I was like, you know what? I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to find this gunship at all anywhere. So what I'll do is I see the A-Wing there for the Legacy collection. I'll go ahead and get that. So I got the A-Wing in hand, which was a nice ship as well, and I don't have that one, but I'll get into the story behind that. So I'm walking around with this A-Wing for a while, and then I walk around a corner in a completely different area of the toy aisle, and they have an entire shelf filled with these Republic gunships. So I was like, oh, good. So I went ahead and put the A-Wing down and then ended up getting this. And this is the one that I've had since. So I've had it for almost 15 years now at this point. So long story behind that, but it's a story that's probably going to stick with me forever. So as far as I know, every single Republic gunship that's been released out there, which I'm pretty sure there's probably been less than 10, so he had around 2 for Attack of the Clones into the original Clone Wars. Then you had Revenge of the Sith, then you had the Tiger Shark. Then there was 2 for the Clone Wars. Then you had the TVC gunship. So there might be somewhere around 8 or 9 of the Republic gunships, and they are all using the same exact model here. The only difference is the paint. So no matter what gunship you get, the only thing you're really paying for is the paint. But I really like this one. I think this one might be my personal favorite. I like the color scheme on it, and I really like the nose art there. I knew when I saw that at the time that, yes, this is something I have to get for my collection. So, there really isn't a whole lot to Republic Gunship. It's probably one of the most sought after vehicles in Hasbro Star Wars history, even to this day, and people are always begging for Hasbro to do a rerun of this. I don't think Hasbro really will do a rerun of it unless it's some type of HasLab project where they do an entirely new one. So I think whatever's out there is pretty much it, and the best bet for anyone. But pretty much what you see here is all there is to it. There's no electronics, there's really no special features about it. And assembling is very simple. All you do is just pop the hatch on, the turrets here, and then the wings, and that's pretty much it. And I plan on doing multiple videos showing this off. I like to, right now I have the ARC Troopers in it, trying to make it as much of the Tartakovsky style as best I can, even though I don't have the Tiger Shark gunship. I still think this looks really neat as is. And in the back there is Captain Fordo. You can fit quite a few action figures in this. I have about 7 in there right now. As you can see, there's plenty of room where you can fit more. You could easily fit maybe 20 action figures if you really work at it. So before I dive a little bit more into this gunship, I want to go ahead and put the pilots in. I'll do these 2 pilots here from the Evolutions packs. This one here, I still have the elastic band around him. And even though this was released in the Clone Wars line, you can fit both Clone Wars and realistic action figures in here. They fit pretty good. Let's see here. This co-pilot C is a little bit at an angle. Looks great. Then you can just close this hatch here. And you can kind of see them in there. So as I mentioned, the most unique part about this is easily the nose art. Really like that design. Looks like a snake around. I don't think she's a Twi'lek. She could be though. I have a feeling Hasbro would never do something like this in today's world. It's amazing how times have changed. And also you have some type of lettering there. Not sure if it's Mandoa or something else. And you also have the nose art. Same thing on this side. And mine was always kind of smeared on the lettering there. And that could have something to do with... Unfortunately, this side of the gunship isn't quite as attractive usually because it has the screw holes through here. So then you have the 2 front turrets here, which they both shoot out. Let's see here. And they have a pretty good kick in them. That's all there is to them. And they snap into place and they stay into place. Then you have another compartment here where you can maybe have a Jedi dangling out, getting ready to go into battle. And then the ARC troopers standing on the platform there. So as you can see, the platform is a separate piece from the rest of the gunship, and you can unlatch it. I don't think I'm going to do it for this video because then that's going to pop all their weapons out and it's just going to be a mess to do that. Although I might try something a little bit later in the video. We'll see. And it's basically like you're dropping them in the battle, like having the gunship fly by and then it drops all the troops. So it's a very creative idea. And the wings here, nice red and gray detailing. You have the two turrets here, which both of those rotate. So if you recall, back in the Saga days in 2002, there were little special balls that the clones would sit in, and was it some type of laser ball or something like that? Anyways, you can attach them right here and on the other side as well, and then have them as a extension to this gunship. And they also got released in the Legacy Collection as well. Unfortunately, no matter which versions you get, they're terribly expensive. The Legacy Collection ones are more accurate because you can actually fit the clone trooper in them, while the Saga ones you cannot. They're too small for that. Which is probably more in proportion with this model gunship versus the Legacy Collection ones. Those Legacy Collection ones are huge for this, so if Hasbro ever made another gunship, perhaps they can make that more in scale with those. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those. I would like to get some at some point. I have seen some customizers on the internet make them homemade, and I've thought about getting a few of those at one time or another, so we'll see. So of course, the gunship does have the sliding doors here, which I might not be able to shut mine because of that clone there. Perhaps on the other side here I can. Yeah, should be able to. Hold on a second. Well, they just latch into place like that. There's two tabs there. And for there is the other Clone Wars gunship that came out. It has a Quaking monkey lizard, the species that Salacious Crumb is, painted on the side for the nose art. But it also came with a door here that completely seals off the gunship. And I think for here too, like when we saw at the Battle of Teth in the Clone Wars movie, as they dropped the gunships out of space. And that's the only gunship that carries those. So if you want to open this door, you just push this at the top here. It pops that out of place. And it opens up. Same thing with the other side. Then we have the top turrets here. And they both do have a missile that you can fire. It's very weak though. Yeah, can't really get a lot of force out of that. And for the back here, very nice detailing in that, and it does have a tail gun back here, and it also has these, which mine are kind of tangled because I always have them wrapped up. But this is basically the like what you see in the beginning of season 2 of the Tartakovsky series, where they're dropping the ARC troopers in the battle. Can wrap these around a clone's wrist and then have them dropping off. Then you can pop them into place here. And like I said, unless you want these dangling if you're moving your gunship around, or of course if you were taking them in the battle, you wouldn't want those dangling. I just have them wrap around like so. Turret does move around a little bit. Mine's unfortunately a little bent, and it always has been. And a couple other things I'll show here. Just move this clone to the side for now. So for the platform in the inside there, this is a switch here that you use to pop that out of place. See if I can kind of do this. Yeah. It can be kind of tricky to get. And you have to put it in a specific way too. Otherwise it just won't work. Put that to the side for now. Might work a little bit better with the Clone Wars animated action figures because they're a little bit smaller. What else is there to show? So for the wings here, there is a hidden compartment in the inside. I'll show you here as best I can. And there are spare missiles there that you can latch into place. I do have some extra missiles lying around somewhere. I'm not too sure where they're at. But they're all the same exact things as this. Same with that side. And you just pop them out like so. And there's also a hidden compartment up here. And I did keep some of the spare missiles in there every now and then, but I got tired of the rattling. So I took all those out. And it's the same thing for the other side. So I guess if you have some spare accessories you want to store in there, you can make that happen. So the gunship is pretty good size here. I would say it's maybe 1.5 feet long. What else does it really say about this? I think I pretty much showed you all there is. Like I said, I mean, it's not too complex of a vehicle, but it is one of the most iconic things that Hasbro's ever made. To this day, it's still highly sought after. I would love to own a fleet of gunships at some point. The ones I'm most actively seeking now is the Tiger Shark, and maybe the one with the Quaking Monkey Lizard painted on the side, mostly because of the extra doors that it contains. I really want to experiment with that. I wouldn't mind owning the Revenge of the Sith gunship too, the one that has that greenish tint to it. But other than that, I think that's all there is I can really tell you about this. I do plan on doing some more videos with this. I'll show off what it looks like with the Clone Wars action figures, and I'll also do one with Phase 2 clones, see how it is, how they all fit into this. So would I recommend this for your collection? I definitely would. I wouldn't go out and spend a fortune for a gunship though. If you're looking for the cheapest one possible, definitely the very first one from Attack of the Clones is the cheapest. It's just a very basic gunship, and it's probably the most accurate representation of the Republic gunship compared to the rest that we've seen in the movies. It's just the standard colors, no unique prints to it. You can buy some nose art on eBay though and put it on your own gunship if you desire to do that. I've seen some very interesting designs out there. The most expensive one, like I said, is probably the Tiger Shark gunship. The rest of them are somewhere in between. Or if not the Tiger Shark one, definitely the TBC one's really expensive. I think I've seen that one go for $700 or $800 even. And there's nothing unique about that gunship at all. And it's been 10 years now since we've gotten a Republic gunship release. It's about time Hasbro repacks it. I doubt it's going to happen though, which is unfortunate. Lots of people want a gunship. I would like to have a second one, maybe a third. And I just think it'd be easy money on Hasbro's part, but you know how it goes. So if you really want one for your collection and you're in a budget for it, seek out the original. This one here, it's somewhere a couple $100 range usually. It's not the most expensive one, but it's probably in the lower middle, I'll say. But I really like it. I love the nose art. I love the color scheme it has going on. And it's just a really nice ship overall. And I'm very happy to own it, and it's been in my collection for 15 years now. That's all I'll say about the gunship for now. So if you have not already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate your support. Check out the links in the description as well if you haven't done so already. And thanks for watching.